Thank you for everyone for participating today. We're going to be covering a lot of material, but there certainly is an opportunity for questions and answers, and I hope you take advantage of that. The objectives of this presentation today is to provide an understanding of the functional considerations of precast pre-stressed concrete parking structures. We're going to look at building code requirements, parking occupancy, site considerations, and some things about fire ratings. We want to provide an understanding of the structural system design for precast pre-stressed concrete parking structures. For that, we will be looking at gravity load framing, vertical elements of the lateral force resisting system, and diaphragm considerations. Finally, we want to provide an understanding of the design issues and solutions from lessons learned from precast concrete parking structures in the past. We're going to look at drainage issues, warping, volume change effects, and some construction issues. So first, parking garage classification. Parking garages are classified as low hazard storage S2. The International Building Code has a special section 406 on motor vehicle related occupancies, and garages are further classified as either open or enclosed parking structures, and they follow separate rules for these different classifications. Parking occupancy depends on who's using the structure, and it does shape a lot of decisions that are made during the course of developing the designs. If it's going to be for an office building and the employees know the spaces and return to the same space or the same area every day, they're familiar with the parking, then some of the things that may make a garage easier to use may not be necessary for the people who are going to use it all of the time. In a retail setting, there's a need for parking to be attractive, to not to provide any sense of concern for security, to be open and to draw the shopping clientele into the facility so that they're comfortable with using it and comfortable with visiting it. Multifamily residential, also again, people will probably be assigned spaces, they'll be familiar with it, but with multifamily residential, we find in addition that people are storing their bicycles and have other uses that they may crowd into their parking space, and it's part of what needs to be considered of how they're going to get this space. For hotel uses, again, transient people, but they're likely to come in once. There's not a lot of turnover in a hotel parking garage. It's in one day and out another, and it determines on how the ease of use would be. Hospital construction, obviously, there's a larger requirement for ADA handicap parking. Accessibility, while it's important in all garages, becomes even more important for garages that are used for hospital support. Colleges, the college space, parking is premium. Interesting that colleges don't often provide high levels of amenities with their parking garages, and they may actually consider that a longer travel distance or a higher level garage might be acceptable to the students who are just grateful to have parking on or near campus. And then there's the case of providing parking for access to mass transit. Again, the ability to link to light rail or bus systems by providing commuter parking can be very important. And again, there's a consideration of how the layout is going to be, the size, and the ease of use for the parking structure. Municipal multi-use, there's a number of ways that a municipal parking garage might be used, and it may have to consider a number of supporting office and retail and some of the surrounding areas. All of these are considerations that we take into account when we're thinking about the design of parking structures and how the occupancy is going to actually affect our considerations for the structure.